Yeah, these rankings keep getting more and more wrong by the College Football Playoff Committee and by me too. Welcome back, everybody, to A Younger View in Sports. My name is James Irvin. College Football Playoff rankings were released last night. Let's see how their list, and let's compare them to my list. So, starting off with the committee, Bama at 1. I have Bama at 1. Notre Dame at 2. Okay, I have Notre Dame at 2. Clemson at 3. I also have Clemson at 3. Ohio State 4. I also have Ohio State at 4. We'll get to it later. Texas A&M 5. Texas A&M 5. 6, Iowa State. Cincinnati. 7, Florida. Okay, because they win that game if it wasn't for a shoe. They were almost a shoe-in. Georgia at 8, I have Iowa State. Cincinnati at 9, I have USC. Oklahoma at 10, I have Georgia at 10. Okay, so the first 5, they got completely right. Because I don't think there's a good 4 team. Usually I do. Usually there are 4 teams that I like. But I don't think Ohio State is a quality team. Sure, they've played 5 games. But they got the Big Ten championship. That's a ranked opponent. The Big Ten has been quite bad this year. They're going to cream Northwestern. End of story. They make the playoffs at 4. But they're going to lose to Alabama. Alright. They're going to lose to Alabama. And I don't think there's any 4 team that could. Texas A&M, already saw it. Lost to Alabama. Cincinnati, sure. Why not at this point? I don't know why I won't expand the playoffs. But so, yeah, the first 5, I think they got right. But then Iowa State at 6, a 2-loss Iowa State team instead of an undefeated Cincinnati. Don't like that. Florida at 7 is fine. They won that game if it wasn't for a shoe. Georgia at 8. Georgia at 8. They lost to Florida and Bama. They didn't just lose. They got embarrassed. Georgia's a top 10 team. Sure, they are nowhere near the top 8. I don't know why they have Cincinnati at 9. Cincinnati is an undefeated team. They've been playing their butts off, and they've played more than 5 games. Iowa State, I have at 8. You know, they're a 2-loss Big 12 team, okay? Sure, they beat Oklahoma and Texas, but other than that, no. I have USC at 9. They are Pac-12. They will win the Pac-12, and that's it. You know, they got Oregon. They're going to beat Oregon. They're an undefeated Pac-12 team. They've also only played 5 games. That's why I have them at 9. But I do think they're a top 10 team in this league. I think Ohio State is a top 10 team. I just don't think they're a college football playoff team. Maybe if they would face Texas A&M or Iowa State or Florida, you know, maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll agree that they deserve to be in. But Bama has faced Georgia and creamed them. And that their schedule's been easy. Notre Dame faced Clemson. Beat them without Trevor Lawrence. We're going to get them with Trevor Lawrence. So I mainly think there is no quality 4 team for the college football playoffs. I just don't think there is. I don't think any one of these teams would stand up to Bama. I don't think any one of these teams would stand up to Notre Dame. I think 1, 2, and 3 are teams that can match up well against each other. And I don't think Ohio State has played enough games. In the past, yes, I have supported the Buckeyes. Last year, I thought the Buckeyes were going to win the entire thing until a very bad call against Clemson. But Texas A&M, they'd probably lose to the top 3. Ohio State probably lose to the top 3. Cincinnati probably lose to the top 3. Florida definitely lose to the top 3. Iowa State lose to the top 3. USC would lose to the top 3. And Georgia has already lost to number 1, so they'd probably lose to the top 3 as well. My point is, there is no quality number 4 team. Sure, Ohio State would stand up against them, but do we all really think Ohio State would beat Bama? Do we all really think Ohio State would beat Notre Dame, beat Clemson with Trevor Lawrence? No, we don't. Because they had a historic Buckeye team last year, and they didn't beat Clemson. Much to it. I don't like Ohio State at 4, but I think they kind of have to be at 4 at this point. Because Texas A&M is not going to get their shot at Bama. Florida's going to get creamed by Bama in the SEC Championship. And then what are we left with? Ohio State and Texas A&M. That's all there is. I do think Cincinnati is getting screwed over in these rankings, and I think they're way overrating Georgia. But I'm just asking, give Cincinnati a chance. I want to see Ohio State versus Cincinnati so bad. I don't know why we don't have an 8-team playoff or a 16-team playoff or heck, even a 10-team playoff. At the top 10 go in. Yeah, just get a top 10 team playoff. Not much to it. And if it is top 10 playoff, I don't think Georgia should be in it. Why not Coastal Carolina? They've beaten ranked teams. They beat BYU and the Mormons. So, again, to wrap this all up, I do think Ohio State is better than Cincinnati, is better than Iowa State, is better than USC, is better than Georgia. I just don't think they're better than the top 3. And there's not a lot of these teams on this top 10 that are better than the top 3. Last year, there were so many teams that could match up well against everything. You're like, who could get in? Who could get in? Well, this year, it's like Alabama, Notre Dame, Clemson, maybe Ohio State, and maybe Texas A&M if they're playing good. But after that, there's nobody. There is nobody I truly think could have possibly beat Alabama, beat Notre Dame, or beat Clemson. Thank you for listening.